This video is hot off the printing press. Okay, it's a video by Bellular, and it's called World of Warcraft PvP is Dying. So I was interested in this one. Let's check it out. Let's see what he has to say.
Next topic is an interesting one because, well, PvP. Where have they all gone? What's going on? Turns out we can take a look at things now. The PvP community do feel a little bit raw right now. It does seem that maybe.
By the way, I think a lot of these tweets, he might say this. I think he might just say this, but I think a lot of this comes down to Plunderstorm coming out. Plunderstorm came out, and that kind of got a lot of attention, right? A lot of attention, and there's still so many issues in PvP. You know, I think Plunderstorm got a lot of people feeling a lot of different ways, right? Like the PvEers were mad about Plunderstorm because, you know, they expected a new zone and they wanted to be able to farm out a new rep, and having this new PvP game is just really annoying. And then a second PvP game, you guys haven't even fixed MMR with the first PvP game, so everyone's just getting pissed. I personally love Plunderstorm. I thought it was great that they added that. It was like one of the coolest things they could have added with the patch, my own personal opinion, but I see why people got annoyed.
Plunderstorm is not what they sort of wanted for their traditional PvP.
Of course, it's not PvP.
Yeah.
It's not WoW. It is player versus player. It's not WoW PvP.
Yeah, do you know what it is? It's so Jover.
It's Jover.
It's completely Jover.
Yeah,
yes.
There are certain genres of Peepos and Pepes that just the most perfect way to express yourself online. Like,
so we do have some statistics we can take a look at here, which is fun.
Every number is 0. It's all dead.
Yep. So these are.
Ow.
Yeah. Right. So what?
Oh my God! Flashbang.
At here is a chart of games per week. Okay, for the top 5,000 players. I assume that's just because that's what the leaderboard tracks.
Yeah, we definitely are a little bit held back by having no data from Blizzard outside of very limited things, which obviously.
So we have here Season 2 and Season 3. I do think it's kind of interesting that Season 3 is actually peaking way above Season 2. And this is, again, 3v3. So you can see that red.
That actually is a really interesting little factoid. I wonder why that is. That's a really interesting. Why did Season 3 pop off so hard during around the 8-week mark? What happened then? Is that when they buffed MMR? Please tell me that's when they buffed MMR. Was it the tourney weeks? It could have been, yeah. Maybe it was the AWC. I wonder if that's when 8 weeks would have been the start of January. So 8 weeks would have been the start of January. When did they come in and actually just buff MMR? Because if it was at this time, I think that would be hilarious.
Bad line there at about week 8. However, it is appearing to dip off a little bit.
Yeah, PvP is dead, but it looks like on average there's more PvP being played in Season 3 anyway, so maybe, depends.
Yeah, well, Season 3 is a stronger time for the game. What we saw, you know, our Mythic Plus numbers are up. You can see that at least for a bit, PvP numbers, PvP numbers were up. What we can do is look at solo shuffle lobbies per week, sort of roughly assuming that a lobby is 6 rounds. Now, kind of interesting. So you got what, say, 69,922 lobbies of solo shuffle, and we're looking at numbers at more like 44,000 for some of our peaks for the 3v3s. So you can really see that solo shuffle, it's played more than 3v3, and I suppose that makes sense because it's solo queue. Now, Season 3 is definitely having a worse time for solo shuffle than it was having.
That's kind of normal though, right? I also can't help but feel like for Season 3, so for both of those graphs, for both solo shuffle and 3v3, I think it's going to trend upwards, right? The end of the season, the games are going to trend upwards, right? This always happens. Every single season, this happens. What's really surprising to me, though, is so many people are playing at the start of Season 3 for both 3v3 and solo shuffle. The data's not necessarily bad, but I think what will end up happening now that the end of the season is announced is like this line is just gonna go up now, like boom, 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 or whatever. Even if it gets to like the same point, I don't think that's copium. I think that's what's gonna happen, and then the graphs don't really look that bad, right? Like, can we? Is it safe to assume that the last 2 weeks of the season people are gonna play? Like way more people are gonna play. I think that's very safe to assume. So yeah, I think once you look at it like this and you actually see the end of the graph or whatever, maybe this is too generous. Maybe it doesn't go up that much. Maybe it goes like, or whatever. Even if it's a little less, it still doesn't look that bad in comparison.
With 3v3. These numbers are not completely cratered, not completely dead. They're, they are sort of near each other, but again, look at the y-axis. You are looking at 20,000 lobbies per tick in the y-axis, which is quite a lot of gameplay. So even more recently there, we're 22,145 versus 36,872. That is a large difference, but could Plunderstorm, I don't know, maybe Plunderstorm's not that down.
Yeah, that week is Plunderstorm as far as I'm aware, because we're in week 20, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the biggest dip of all was when Plunderstorm got released? That kind of makes sense. Once again, the graph's not looking too bad. Maybe it would have been flat if Plunderstorm didn't come out.
So yeah.
And then it doesn't look so bad, right? Like, we do the graph again. All right, here. Let's do it again. This doesn't look good, but imagine Plunderstorm didn't come out. No Plunderstorm. We're going to erase this. Watch this. I'm going to do some magic just really quick. So like, imagine Plunderstorm didn't come out. Even if it trended downwards a little bit, it's not that bad, right? Like, let's say it trends downward, down, down, down. End of season comes up, and then you have like a big spike, and even if it gets to there, not that bad. It's kind of bad, though. Is it? I don't think it is. I mean, it's not great, but it's at least as good as season 2. Maybe a little worse, right? Still a low number. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so 19 is Thunderstorm week, which means that
so
is
before that, you can see, before that, you do see a bit of a dip.
Yeah.
I know that one thing that hasn't happened is rating inflation.
I need some of Ven's copium in my veins. Dude, you guys, the thing is, here's the thing, okay? I've lived this life. I've been living this life. I've been streaming WoW PvP for 11 years. This happens every single expansion. End of Shadowlands, game is dead. Season 3 of Shadowlands, dead. Season 4 of Shadowlands, dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same. It always happens. This is the same thing. This isn't something new. These are the same trends that happen every single expansion. It happened in Shadowlands. It happened for Battle for Azeroth. It's always the same thing.
Which is how you get people rewards, I suppose.
So I think the thing to say here is these numbers are very small compared to M+.
They are
very small, very small, and
we should say what some of the numbers are so people understand how big the gap is.
Yeah.
So a solo shuffle is how many people is it?
6. Oh my god, they don't even know. Come on, boys. Come on.
Yeah, it's 2v2s. Yeah, it's 2v2s.
Yeah.
How many people are in the lobby?
It's not 2v2s. God damn it.
Is it?
This is PvP so outside of our chat. We need your aid.
I want to say 9.
Please help.
Is it 8 or 9?
Oh yeah, it's 3v3s.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
3,
how many teams of 3?
I'm sure someone will say in chat before long. 3v. Yeah, 2v. Yeah. So many people in the lobby. Then I think it's 9.
This guy was talking about WoW PvP being dead, and I wanted to react. Yo, Castana, thank you for the prom.
Stream brain debuff is actually extremely real.
It's a potent thing, because what we can do though is we can kind of work out how
9,
many.
9.
Yeah, okay, 9. So with Mythic Plus, we're dealing with weekly numbers that are in and around what, Matt?
I have an idea.
Stream brain.
Yeah, stream brain.
Let me check the video we published yesterday.
Yes.
That has those numbers very conveniently. So okay, now where the hell are the numbers in the video?
If I get 6 people, yeah, it's 6. Why did I think
These guys have they admit it. They have no clue about PvP. It's so funny.
9? Yeah, I'm overestimating how much shuffling is actually done. Obviously, 6 makes more sense if it's shuffling around so everyone plays with each other. Yeah. I can be good at math or PvP, not both. How about neither? That's my choice. I used to be good at math, and then I didn't look at any numbers, and I started thinking, like, words instead, and it's been a horrible experience for my usefulness. But I'm better at communicating, so who knows? Yeah. Because I feel like even if you kind of go, well, there's, you know, if that's a lobby, there's 120,000 people, but then, you know, how many people do you have 10, 15, you know, 20 lobbies as opposed
So
to
let's just compare.
I want to see the numbers for Mythic Plus.
Compare week 16.
Week 16.
Let's see it.
So week 16, we had, what season is that? What season is that? Week 16, we had about 1 million. About 1 million keystones ran. Each keystone, 5 people.
So 200,000 people. That's not empirical whatsoever, because obviously
what is it, 10
multiple
times?
updates.
10 like roughly 10 times more dungeons are being run. It's like 10 times more popular.
No, so that's how many people though. So 1 million.
That actually kind of surprises me, in a way, because I don't necessarily think like the viewership of MDI versus AWC is indicative of those numbers. That's interesting. 10 times as generous to the PvP count. MDI is hard to watch. Yeah. Yo, RCHLGBRLL, thank you for the prime, my friend. MDI is just not a good event. Dungeons are not as fun to watch. AWC is a much better esports product than MDI. Okay. But you guys are saying that Mythic Plus is more fun to play? It's interesting because I don't feel like Mythic Plus viewership on Twitch is that much better than PvP either, right? If 10 times more people are interested in Mythic Plus, it's interesting to me that the viewership for Mythic Plus is just not there. I mean, it is in some cases, but...
in runs, and there's 5 people within a run. Whereas
I don't
here,
even think the amount of people matters. I think it's literally just there's 1 million keys versus 20,000 lobbies. Those are different numbers.
you know, it's 5 people
different
versus 6
numbers,
people within each one.
Yeah.
So basically, what this is saying is that even, say, solo shuffle, or, you know, 3v3 or solo shuffle, they are both...
threes, like, what's that, week 16, 20k?
Yeah, and also... How
20K games
long
here.
does a solo shuffle lobby last?
Probably about the same as a key, right? I think that's fair. PvE and WoW is not fun to watch at all. Yeah, but the thing is, like, even if PvE is not that fun to watch, people like to watch what they do. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they want to, like, learn and get better. Way faster? It's faster than a key? Wait, how long does a key take? Key takes 30 minutes? Keys are 30 minutes? What on earth?
How long's a piece of string? Dampening, my man. Depends on dampening.
We are the guys with the
Yeah,
answers.
it depends on dampening. I mean, literally...
It's like a 3v... Okay, take just a plain-ass 3v3.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be over... Like, you could get many of those done within the space of one dungeon. Which makes these numbers... You can get a few done.
No, you could get, like, 2 or 3.
Depends on the game. Depends if it's quick. I mean, okay, fair. Well, see that's the top. That's the top 5,000 where solo shuffle is just lobby. So I think the solo shuffle number is the better one for comparison.
Of course. Well, that's what we're looking at here. So that's 19, 18. Yeah. So 28k. But the point is
Versus
still,
1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I wasn't trying to like dig in like what's the specific numbers here. It's literally one of these is a bigger number than the other by a factor of adding 2 or adding a 0 and a bit. They're like 5 times, 4 times bigger. So
what else are PvEers supposed to do? World Class, Mythic Plus is all there is. Wouldn't be... well, they can raid and stuff, I guess.
okay, well, clearly there you go. But that's a scuffed kind of like the whole thing is this is scuffed, right? The whole problem with PvP is that this is season 2 wasn't even good either. This is still an unbelievably unsupported game mode. But we're getting to the point where they're not actually solving any problems.
I love this. So I just went to Google PvP runs per week Shadowlands, and the top post is a Reddit post saying Mythic Plus runs per week. That doesn't bode well. Is there anything on Drustvar?
So, has anyone noticed that search engines are useless?
Completely awful, useless.
Every single way that search is implemented, and I'm assuming this has happened at some fuckwit asshole somewhere in the Fang place. They're like, search, I've revolutionized search to be so much more.
This is just intellectually dishonest content. Well, I think we can interpret what they're saying. We don't have to say what. I feel like they don't. They're just looking at the numbers, right? But
efficient and so much better, and we can do it in such a smaller road time, so much more efficient to search all data. Everything is a fuzzy search.
Yes.
You cannot search for anything exact anymore.
So we just live in fuzzy times, man.
Yeah, you want to
Very
search
fuzzy times.
for a tweet from a person from time ago? No, fuck you.
No.
You want to find a quote on Google? No. Sorry, we've disabled that functionality. We thought you having access to information wasn't actually the real point of the internet anymore.
Oh no, it's just play ads.
We thought surfacing AI generated slop.
Yo, we gonna talk
into
about
your eyeballs
PvP?
was the point of the internet now.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay, so maybe
AI
we'll have to.
generated ESO articles.
We'll have to do that differently. But anyway, the point is PvP is really in a dire state. The thing that Blizzard could do, though, to fix up a lot of this is because there's a whole side of PvP that's not covered here, which is Battlegrounds.
Let's see what his solution is.
Also, what's it called? Battleground
Blitz.
Yes, Battleground Blitz, which is the test for rated solo queue BGs. None of that is actually captured in the data.
Yeah,
Now, it's not massively well rewarded.
Yeah, like we're kind of flying blind, but the point isn't so much about the fact that participation's dwindling, because the numbers don't really matter when you just see everyone who does PvP being online going, where are my improvements to PvP? Where's my game mode attention, please? Plunderstorm, that's cool. That's not World of Warcraft PvP.
Yo, Goofer,
Please give
thanks
me
for the
World
sub,
of
bro.
Warcraft PvP, please. Obviously, we're getting a new battleground in the War Within, and obviously they're testing the solo battleground stuff. But solo queue battleground, I should say, not solo battlegrounds. That'd be a bit pointless. We're trying to 1v1 in Arath.
Do you guys think like this data? I think someone brought up a good point that like for PvEers, there's really not that much to do throughout the week. I guess some of them raid, but I think most of the people that do PvE in this game probably do Mythic Plus. Is that fair? Maybe they don't. I don't know. Whereas like the PvP numbers are a bit more split between a bunch of different rated modes. Does that make sense? So for PvEers, they're like rated mode. They only have one rated mode, which is Mythic Plus. For PvPers, you have multiple rated modes, right? Like you have rated BGs, which I don't think have big numbers. You have threes, you have twos, you have shuffle. The numbers, obviously Mythic Plus is a lot more popular. I'm not coped up about it. I think that's fine. People like to do Mythic Plus. It's a fun mode. But I feel like the graphs aren't exactly super accurate just because there's so many different rated modes in PvP that are kind of like splitting the attention of the audience. All right, let's keep going.
Basin sounds good to me. So yeah, I feel like it's just a case of almost in running with the vein of like the season 4 being kind of undercooked a little bit, which we'll still haven't talked about too much. And people have been like, where's my stuff? Where's my game? Where's my content? And it does boil down to, sorry, PvP is very on the back burner, and it is frustrating people because they want minor fixes. They want minor changes.
Yeah, right now it seems like even just some of the MMR, not MMR, rating.
That's most of the problem.
Yeah,
People are like, I would like this queue to work. I would like this queue to function so I can play people who I can play against, and it be a fine, fair, reasonable match.
Yes. So
like, sorry, it's even in the same sense of like people talking about the end of season nurse frag. It's like they're probably right in the long term to be so like almost singularly focused on the big cool things and the next thing.
the things that move the needle.
But at the same time, there's an element of everyone going, "Why have I been left to rot?"
Yeah, if there's decay, you can't.
Why we've been left to rot? No. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, guys. It's definitely interesting. I do, like I said, I feel like there's an issue in WoW where it just kind of like it feels like I like chasing rating. It's fun to queue and to go up in rating and stuff like that, right? But it's such a small window of time that you can actually do that right now. And even then, like a lot of the top players, their rating isn't even moving because inflation is just like, it's not really going up. I just think they could do a bunch more at this point. I think they could do a bunch more, like at least experiment with different things, like rating deflation, more inflation, like inflation that kicks in when activity isn't high, things like that. That's just weird. What do you think the numbers in retail compared to like Wrath or Season of Discovery? Wrath is actually dead. Like, I don't like to say things are dead, but Wrath is actually El Deado, you know? Mythic Plus rating is less punishing as well. You can fail upwards as your number grows. Perhaps the average player feels better in PvP. When you lose, your rating goes down. Yeah. I just think the whole PvP system needs a revamp. I really think they should do like a seasonal battle pass. But then, aren't you part of the problem? I am. But this is what I'm saying. It's like one of the problems is people make alts, including myself. But the reason I make alts is because I can't gain rating on my other characters. It's like I want to play mage. And this is what happens, right? Like people want to play the character that they like. But when you have there's no chance to go up in rating, it feels pointless to play. Like if I could just queue my main mage all day and I felt like there was a good risk reward for gaining rating and losing rating, I would do it. But unfortunately, you just sit there for 2 hours. Like on my main mage, sometimes I sit in queue for 2 hours. Literally. Rating decay solves this, I know. It would be very useful.